Hello, this is Patrick White, and today I'm going to show you how to master a track on Pro Tools using only the stock plugins you get free with any version of Pro Tools. I am using Pro Tools 10 on a Windows Acer laptop. Now, as you can see, I've already got the session set up. Here is my song in the mix. Now, as you can see, I've already got the plugins loaded up. EQ, compressor, limiter. This song comes in very quietly and then quickly picks up on volume, so I felt it was a good song to demonstrate what mastering can do to your song. And as you can see, I've got 3 other tracks that are being sent to each other through I/O bus tracks. And I'll just quickly show you what the song sounds like without any plugins used at all. Now, as you can see on the master fader, the volume is hovering around -12 to -8 dB. This is generally a good idea to keep the volume at this level, because when it comes to mastering, it gives you more headroom to work with. Maybe wondering why I've got all these plugins stretched out across 4 different tracks. I've done this because I don't want any of the tracks to be overloading, and this may cause problems with the playback engine and result in Pro Tools crashing and breaking down, especially if the computer you're using isn't a particularly powerful one. And now I'll walk you through the plugins I have used in this session. As you can see, I've used 2 EQ3 7 bands, a D3 compressed limiter, BF76 and a Maxton limiter. Okay, this first EQ I've used to add just very subtle EQing to what I feel like the overall mix could do with a little bit more. Obviously, I'll not put too much gain on these frequencies, because if you push it too much, it's going to start to distort and sound awful, and just add too much colours, it would just sound a bit awful. You can hear it's got a little more bottom end, a little bit more sparkle on higher frequencies because of this. In the second EQ, I've just dived off a little bit of the rumble and a little bit of the high ends to make the mix sound a bit more softer, easier to listen to, and have more pronunciation on the frequencies you want to be hearing in the mix. And this is a D3 compressor limiter, and I've worked on the preset clean limit. I've not stuck by this preset too well, because it's never a good idea to just stick to the preset. It's not going to be set to the exact settings you're going to want for your song, so I've twiddled around with it a bit, changed the gain, the threshold to suit the song a bit more. And this plugin is the BF76, which is a peak limiter, and as you can hear and see, this has pushed the volumes right up. You also notice that the volume in this bar reader on the track which the song is playing from has stayed at the same level, more or less, because the EQ plugin I use on that track hasn't added much volume at all. This last plugin I've used is the Maxton limiter. I've adjusted the ceiling and the threshold to boost the song up. I've not. As you can see, the threshold matches up with the decibel reader on the left. Well, not exactly, but roughly, to not distort it too much. And the ceiling's set so it doesn't peak over that, even though it shouldn't anyway. Because if you're recording as -0.3 dB, it's going to start not clipping, but close to clipping, and it will sound a bit crunched. And as you can see by the levels, it's being pushed a lot more than it is on the original track, which is hovering around -10 dB. Okay, and now I'll show you what the song sounds like when I start to take away the plugins. As you can hear, very subtle taking off the EQ. And the next one as well. Put the compressor up, you can see the volume starting to dip down a little bit more. And taking down the this limiter, start drawing even more, and then the maximum limiter is really starting to get rid of the volume, and it's not being pushed as much, not being squeezed. Putting it back on the other order. You can see the last two plugins I've used really added a lot more volume and squashed dynamics quite a fair bit. I'll take this time to say thank you for watching this video, and I'll put a link in the description to the band that performed this song, which is, well, my band, Burning House. I'll put a link to our SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Okay, now I'll show you how to bounce down your mix. Okay, what you have to do is go to File, and then click on Bounce to Disk. And as you can see, I've already got my bounce source file type format, bit depth, sample rate, and conversion quality to the settings I would personally use. Now you might want, say, 2 separate tracks, one for left or right for some reason or whatever, or a different sample rate. You can just tailor this to what you want your bounce to be, and then you click bounce, save, and the song will bounce down in real time, obviously, and then once that's finished, you'll have the bounce down of your track. I'll take this time to thank you for watching my video. I'm sorry that my voice is a bit slurred and a bit foggy. I am suffering from a bit of a cold at the moment. Alright, thank you and have a nice day.